Hi lovely friends. I wanted to say hi with a little video today. I've been meaning to do this. It's a beautiful early fall day here in Northern California. I hope that it's beautiful wherever you are and you're having a lovely day. As I'm sitting down here to make this video, I'm thinking of my friend Tom Bross and his wife Tanya, whose videography skills I could really use for this, but they're all the way up in Spokane, Washington. So this is my own little DIY attempt, making the best of it. Tom is a fellow author, and he is about to release his second book in his memoir series, Don't Call Me Jupiter, a memoir of a very reluctant hippie kid. His writing is witty, sarcastic, real, raw. If you like sarcastic humor and just authenticity and want to read about a hippie family, pick up his books. They're really, really wonderful. So just giving a little plug, and that brings me to the subject I'm here to talk about, which is my book, Awakening Hearts, A Tale of Love Across Lifetimes. It is now available for pre-order on Amazon. Very exciting for this fledgling author. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to publish a book, and here I am. It's happening. It's real. It's very, very exciting. Some of you have already pre-ordered, and I'm ever so grateful. Every pre-order helps to bring up my rank and the book's visibility and makes it more likely that someone who doesn't know anything about me will come across it on Amazon and will take a look and maybe push the button to order it. So if you feel at all inclined to pre-order, I appreciate any orders. Right now only the ebook version is available to pre-order. The paperback will be available once the book is released after November 11th. I'm very excited for that. I have not yet held a physical copy of the book in my own hands. Can't wait. That's going to definitely be a milestone moment for me. So I wanted to share with you guys a little reading, a little excerpt from my book from the beginning, just so you have an idea of what it's all about and, get a little taste of whether you actually want to take the leap and purchase it and whether it would be of interest to you. So I'm gonna put on my fancy reading glasses, and yeah, it's getting a little bit chilly here, but it's still a lovely day out. So if my voice is a little bit shaky, it's only because it's getting cold. And let me get back to the beginning, because I already read this and then realized the camera angle was not very good, so I'm starting over. So I'm starting with the prologue, and the prologue takes place 18 years before the main part of the book, and you will find in the main part of the book the chapters alternate between 2014 California and 1862 Ohio. And the prologue begins in Texas in October of 1996. So here we go. Worn out from crying, Alex curled into a fetal position on her bed. Her body ached, her joints were stiff from inactivity, and her brain was in a fog. She'd spent the last 3 days like this, missing classes, which was entirely out of character. Through a veil of tears, she glared at the empty bed across her dorm room. That only spurred more tears. She clutched the pillow she'd been holding, her pillow. It still had her scent on it, the floral scent of her shampoo. Alex was afraid she'd use it up and it would lose its fragrance. It was the only worldly thing she had left of her. Still, she buried her face in it, inhaling deeply, triggering another round of sobs. Pull yourself together, Alex. You're pathetic. She forced herself to sit up and swung her legs over the side of her bed, burying her face in her palms. How could she have let things get this out of hand? Why hadn't she stopped herself? She'd known it was wrong, but somehow she'd convinced herself what they were doing was still within the realms of friendship. Close friends could sleep in the same bed. They could cuddle and comfort one another in challenging times, couldn't they? She rubbed her face vigorously. Shaking her head, she let out an exasperated grunt. No, she had taken it too far. She should have never allowed this to happen. Now she'd lost everything, and she felt more alone than ever. She'd never let anyone get this close before, and now she was paying the price for it. She hadn't known she could feel the loss of a person so deeply. The void felt bottomless. She was devastated and heartbroken, but most of all, she was angry at herself. It was her fault. Her stomach revolted. The dorm room was littered with styrofoam containers of instant noodles, most of them half-eaten. She knew she needed to get some real food in her system, but the mere thought of eating made her retch. She couldn't allow herself to continue to wallow in self-pity. It was time she got herself together and picked up the pieces of her shattered life. At least no one else knew, and she was intent on keeping it that way. This was between her and God. With a thud, she let herself collapse onto the floor at the side of her bed. She forced herself into a kneeling position and folded her hands in prayer, lowering her head, eyes closed. Heavenly Father, forgive me, for I have sinned. I should have known better. I'm so sorry. I didn't listen for your guidance. I let myself get carried away. She interrupted herself and pounded the mattress with her fist. But why? Why would you lead me to her in the first place, God? Was this a test? Why put me through this? Wiping angry tears off her face, she calmed herself and tried anew. I need your help, God. Give me the strength to never let something like this happen again. Help me find a good Christian man. Help me be normal. And I'll give you a little tease of chapter 1. California, July 2014. Alex? Sage hadn't been sure whether to expect a man or a woman based on the name alone. The woman sitting on the couch appeared to be absorbed in a magazine, her face partially concealed by the beloved cadet cap, chestnut hair emerging from beneath it in a shaggy bob. At the sound of her name, she lifted her head to reveal a pair of eyes the color of a stormy sea, a blend of gray and blue, that triggered something deep in Sage's being she couldn't have begun to name. She had to fight an instinctive reflex to step back, the feeling overwhelming. Those eyes. In the flicker of a moment, she felt a knowing, a sense of recognition. A rush of warmth flooded her body, temporarily incapacitating her. Hurrying to return the magazine to its spot amid the others on the coffee table, the woman stood, extending her hand. Hey, you must be Sage. Thanks so much for fitting me in today. Sage accepted the outstretched hand, hoping the heat flushing her insides wasn't visible on the outside. Alex Fisher had several inches on her, and her black track pants and red zip-up hoodie complemented her athletic build. She was incredibly attractive, but it was more than her appearance that had Sage feeling like her world was spinning. That's it. That's my little preview for you. Thanks for tuning in. I still honestly never quite know where to look on this camera thing to make eye contact. I think it's over here, but it's all a little bit new to me, this video thing. I hope that this has maybe made you want to read more of my book. I still am looking for a few more advanced readers, so if you would like a free copy of the book, an early copy, in exchange for leaving reviews on Goodreads for now and Amazon once the book goes live, and potentially spreading the word on your social media, I still have a few copies to give out, so that's definitely an option. And yeah, I'm excited to share more with it. I've been getting some reader feedback coming in, and it's been so validating and exciting because I've spent the last 6+ years with these characters in my head, and to now get to share them with the world is very special. And my hope is that reading the book will open up something in you, that it's more than just entertainment, but that it also awakens something in your heart, like for my characters, something that may have lain dormant for a long time, and that gets stirred up as you read. I'm getting cold here, so I'm going to say goodbye, but this has been fun, and I'm going to try to do it again, and have a lovely day wherever you are. Blessings to you.